All right. Good morning, everyone. Appreciate it. I hope you guys had a successful week. It's been quite fun. It's just amazing how fast. Can you guys, is it going really slow for you, or are these weeks going like super, super fast?
Too fast.
Too fast. It's like we have like different meetings on Thursday morning trainings and Thursday and Friday trainings. I just went, wow, it's already Thursday morning yesterday. Wow, it's already Friday morning back to training. So things are moving quickly, which is fun, but sometimes it just, you feel like I'm never getting something, getting everything done. Whoops. Oops, yep, there we go. Share screen. And then I want to go right here. This is put it. So today we're going to go over some fun things about client checklists and some things in timing and I know we did checklists a while back. I added some more few things to it. I just wanted to go back and say, guys, when you get this buyer and when you get into contract, and now that a couple of you guys have gone through your first transaction in escrow, did we miss something? Could we have done something a little bit more smoothly? Could we kind of fine tune that? So guys, what is this right here? What is that?
Record.
That's an LP.
An LP. So, I had this weirdest dream last night about something. Oh, it was a cassette tape. That was the weirdest dream. I actually had a dream that just flashed my head just now about a cassette tape. And I was talking to this like young teenager and go, hey, do you know what this is? And the teenager said, no, I have no idea what that cassette tape is. And that kind of crazy, but here, this is a record. And what, back in the 80s, the record business was the most perfect business that was making so much money. And what did we see like all over the place? They were called record stores, right? And so if you guys wanted music, we'd have to go in, get a record, get that, then it turned into cassettes. And now basically what happened just maybe less than 5 years later, the record business was destroyed because we have now all of a sudden it came on our phones. We got this free music. We got all these different apps, and it just kind of destroyed that business. So what basically happened here is that this is a whole revolution of kind of what transpired with kind of all the technology and stuff and the internet. But basically us or the internet gave everybody a remote control that we can actually find people and find different records, songs, whatever it might be, and we can actually click and find them on the tip of our fingertips. Is that just kind of crazy? When you guys were all teenagers and we didn't have cell phones, can you imagine what it would be like without a cell phone today? Would it freak you out? Those who have older kids, younger kids, any of your kids have cell phones yet?
No.
Okay, but your significant other spouse has one, right? And so it's nice to be able to call them instantly. I already texted my wife this morning. She doesn't text me back, but just to be able to have that instant kind of gratification, connection, communication. So now we're looking at this though, that now individual people, you had to go to a record store to get a record. You had to drive there, you had to get it. And then they, basically all this whole world was like, hey, I'm going to spend a bunch of money on ads for records and stuff. And then the more money I spent on ads, the people saw them and the more money we made because people buy our products. And now with this click of one time on the button of just like, here it is, what is going to make you guys stand out different to be able to find you versus someone else? Because now all they have to do is sit there on their phone and hang out. And how are they going to find you online? How are they going to? So I really want to stress that, guys, that was real important of the last couple of weeks of exercise of going through and making sure your online presence is where it needs to be, making sure you're going and claiming your Zillow houses, making sure you're claiming and getting anyone and everyone to give you some kind of review, some kind of recommendation. Because I've already gone on one listing presentation this week in Lake Wildwood from a lady that says, hey, looks like you're doing great. And I found you online. I want you guys to come interview. I want to interview to sell my mom's house. And so that was like on Wednesday afternoon. And I was there at 12 o'clock on Thursday yesterday. And it seemed like it went really well. So important things on that. So what are we doing? And I want to go through and show you kind of a checklist on a buyer or seller checklist. This is a seller checklist. We want seller or buyer. I guess they're both in there. Yeah. All right, perfect. Let me go through since most of you guys are going to buy, we might come back to that one if we have some time, but I want to go through a buyer checklist, and Brooklyn broke this down and put this, made it cute little slides for us. So again, guys, I want to stress the importance, and we discussed this, Brooklyn and I yesterday, that, and I want to make sure that at the end of the day, maybe you guys don't get a call, maybe you get a call, maybe you do some prospecting and you get 5 or 6 different names of people and individuals. Before the end of the day, they need to go in and make sure that your new people that you guys got for your CRM system are in there properly and in the proper place. So making sure they're in, as we've already designed, where your CRM, your client retention management system has all these different broken out individual, like here's my past clients, here's my nurture, here's my new lead, and have it all broken out, make sure they're in the right place. Because I've had my son come in who's back from college, and he's been spending the last 3 days here going through and weeding out and subtracting, checking things and moving and just cleaning that database up. Because when you guys will get overwhelmed. Right now, you might have 5, 6, 10, 20, 50, 100 people in there. But when you get into the thousands, you just don't want to go back and go, oh, I cannot believe that my client never got anything from me for the last 2 years. No wonder they listed with someone else. So, just to make sure you go in there and clean that up. So when I get a buyer, obviously their name, their address, their phone number and things, but I want to make sure I put them and enter them into, now guys, Chime is my CRM system. So if you have, Snap or whatever you're putting in there, just please, utilize that. There's my SOI, there's the BombBomb. So I know that's a lot of people, a lot of places to put in there, and I can share kind of why I kind of have those and different things. It'd be nice, but Chime and your SOI don't have a video platform like BombBomb has. So I want to have them in there both. And that's, again, making sure that people match. And about every 6 months, which is what my son's doing. And generally it happens every time I turn a new assistant as well. We actually go through and clean that list up. So I want to go in there. You get a new buyer, and you guys need to put them on a property alert. What systems are you guys putting people on property alerts? Who's using what?
MLS.
MLS. I like the MLS. It's a good one. If you don't have anything else better, the MLS is really strong and an important an opportunity that they'll continue to get things dropped to them. So Tim, do you have any of your buyers that are actually searching, and do you have them in the MLS? Do you guys know how to do?
I use the Snap one.
The Snap one, okay. And Allie using both? Maybe both. Guys, I will tell you, like my Chime.
I'm just using Snap, sorry.
Good. So sometimes, like on a mobile home, I have a buyer who is looking at a mobile home right now, and my Chime does not work with mobile homes. They just don't do it. So they're not locating them. So I have to go put them in somewhere else. So I love, Sarah told me this week, if I'm not mistaken, she actually put take the same search and make sure you guys can get notified if something happens, a new house that comes up or something gets notified on that particular house, that you can get a notification on that, because Sarah had an experience that her client was notified before she was about something that either fell out of escrow or came back on or something. So keep that in mind, that you guys want to be, I just don't like getting a call from a client saying, hey, why didn't you tell me about this one? Hey, why don't you tell me about that one? So I like to be kind of on top of it. So you can CC you, or you can click on there, I believe through, I'm not sure if Chime, or sorry, does Snap allow that to be able to, Tim, do you know? So it gives you the opportunity. Good. So that way, I actually marked about 15 emails this morning that came through of leads or houses that went out to my leads. So every once in a while, I'll then take that. They got the lead, but now I'm going to send them a quick text or a quick, instant message or an email going, hey, Sally, did you see the that house that just popped up? Sure looks like it's kind of fits, that criteria. So you're just having these extra touches. So I give them, there's a BombBomb welcome video that we actually have that says, hey, welcome, look forward to it. I like to share and explain kind of the process. And here's my biggest things, guys, that you guys need to do. I spent at least 6 minutes on the phone with some seller this morning that we got a lead this morning. And then it finally comes down to it that, oh, no, my relative is actually going to sell my house. So I should have probably actually asked her that question in the very beginning. But I'd like to give these people in this video an understanding of kind of what we're doing. So let's say, Ali, you found this new buyer and they're a first home buyer. The first home buyers understand the whole entire process? No, they really don't. So do they understand that there's other, just like this remote control, that they're out there looking at everything and they're getting like bombarded by all this information. And all of a sudden this ad comes that they see Tim's post on Facebook about this home and they go, that looks really cool. Then they call Tim and then Tim talks to him. But then Tim says, are you working with anybody? And they go, well, not really. But then wait, Ali's already sending them homes. So guys, right now, that's what the statistics in Zillow are so skewed, in my opinion, because you say we have a billion buyers out there looking. Well, yeah, but there's also like 5 agents are connected to the one buyer. So it's kind of a skewed number there. So what I would do then is I would just explain in this video, which we've done, and say, guys, I just want to share with you what kind of goes down the process. Making sure that they know that I'm going to be sending you these automatic emails. You can actually in your CRM system, they can actually save which ones. They can put a heart next to the ones that they like. So please go through in the homes I'm showing you, put a little heart next to it. That way, when you come back in the area and you look at homes again in the future, then I can just look to see which ones have your hearts on them. Those are your favorites, and we'll go look at your favorites. Oh, and by the way, Ali, just wanted to share with you, when you actually find something that maybe I'm not sending you, maybe you find something on Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, whatever you're finding that on, call me. We all work on commissions. I want to give you the complete commitment of 100% commitment to find you the home. So I don't want you to feel like you have to call. Please never think that you're bothering me. That's one of my pet peeves, is when my buyers call, sorry for bothering you. It's like, it's my job. So I try to express that and help them understand that you guys call me any time, because that's my job. I don't want them going off to Tim, and Tim then all of a sudden is now going and showing him the homes. And then Ali goes, hey, did you see that home? Oh, no, this other agent, Tim, showed it to me. It's like, what? So explain the process of what they need to do, and they need to call you. I also show that on, I know that Sarah's doing brand new homes. So if you actually have a client that's looking in that price point, make sure they understand that, guys, I need to take you in there, or Sarah's going to get the whole entire commission. And I know Sarah wants to share the commission with us. So make sure you let them know that you have to go there. You let them know on open houses. As you guys know, I lost a buyer the other day on an open house that she walked in and says, I would have used you, but I had to use the agent in the open house. What? So obviously that's my fault for not sharing and explaining that. So use the bomb, share that. If you want to do a video, great. If you want to just send them an email and give some bullet points, feel free to do that as well. I generally go on Facebook. I know we're doing a little stalking here, but I go on Facebook. I put them as a friend, so then they can see any of my posts and my just the action that we're doing. I think I shared with you, I had a seller, Cherry, that we sold their house, that I put her on there years and years ago, and she just kept communicating and seeing this and liking my post and this. And I'm going, okay, this is interesting. Why is she liking my post so much? And I could see this whole change in her commenting about my listings and things. And then all of a sudden I get a phone call from her saying, hey, we want you to come over and take a look at our home because we're moving. So it was like this wow factor. So, and I also, when you're looking, just as a pro tip on Facebook, I'm also checking out when their birthday is, because then I'm going to take that birthday and I'm going to put it into my CRM system. I'm putting in my bomb. I showed you guys some videos in the years past of weeks past, months past of my bomb videos for my birthday, which we just reshot another one and reshot another video yesterday too, because I didn't like it. So, sending that through your intro video. So that would be where I do have some intro videos for a buyer that gives them kind of some of this information too, and gives them a little bit more info. Thank you for video for allowing us to show properties and social. Oops, there we go. So I want to share this one here. I'm changing something. Oh man, sorry, buyer checklist. I'm changing this right here that too many times, guys, we're not getting the reviews that we need. So I'm going to start this process and you guys can follow suit if you wish. But like I showed a home the other day that we're putting an offer on a house, and actually I showed 11 of them in one day, which was quite fun. And it was so nice. It was a good experience that I thought, why would I not ask her for a video, do a video review or a text and say, you know what, I had such a great time yesterday. Thank you so much for going around and, allow me to show you those 11 houses just for, for kicks. Do you mind going on there right now to Yelp? Here's a review link and just put on your experience of showing 11 homes of what you kind of thought of that yesterday. So we had a great experience. Maybe you don't do that with every single person. Maybe if it wasn't one, but this one just felt right. So maybe she gives me a review right now on Yelp about, wow, that was really fun. And just first time I met him and blah, 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 blah. You just never know what might trigger some comment. So I'm going to start that and start kind of asking that kind of up front with that by specifically. Then after the offer is accepted, you go through, you spend a bunch of time, you get some offers, would get it accepted. Now I want to go in and I want them to take off chime alerts. We forgot one the other day. The day that my house closed last week, my buyer got an email from my system, automatic system, saying, "Hey, this is Eric Hatch. Any houses caught your interest?" And we're closing the same day. How embarrassing was that? That was embarrassing. So I'm like, oh yeah, we just closed your escrow today. And now my system's sending it out and acting like I have no idea who you are. Again, that was missed on the checklist of going and taking them off, changing them to a pending status. So then your automatic, homes do not keep getting sent to them. I recommend taking them off of your CRM or taking them off of your property alerts when you get into contract, only because I have more negative comments if I don't, put it that way. Most probably buyers would probably say, they keep sending to me, Eric, that's fine, but I just don't want them to see another one to go, oh, this one looks so much better. Oh, what about this one over here? Because you get these buyers that kind of do that. And then if they're kind of on the fence on their house, it hurts the process. So take them off your property alerts. You guys remember Amatree was a timeline software that we're using that just give them something. And I believe, guys, the concierge service that actually has something very similar to this with a timeline. So that's something that we turned ours on and we're experimenting with that. So that would give them a timeline of when things are happening. Complete escrow folder. I'm assuming Allie, Sarah, Tim, does your TC want you guys to put a folder together? I know we're totally,
They do digital,
completely digital. Yeah. So we have this like a folder right here. So it's still, whether we, this is, at least our TC has this. So it's kind of like, it has the information. I can grab it real quick. I can see it. And I can kind of see where that's going, but fill out a folder because we basically have to give something to our TC. And this, again, this is a complete escrow folder put on our board. I like to have them on my board so I can see them. We have a clipboard that has kind of a summary of all of them so you can actually see them. So if I yell out, hey, who's the escrow officer for her or whoever this is, I have my closing date, my acceptance date, my inspection contingency date, because I just want to see those. Because too often what happens is your buyer calls and goes, hey, when is that happening? When is this happening? And if they call me a couple times at the beginning, I go, you know what? You guys never accepted your timeline Amatree. So let me resend that to you. And so I basically share with them and let them know, guys, this is what's transpiring. This is what's you're going to get. And with this concierge, I don't know if you guys are aware of, but the concierge service, they actually call your client too, which I wasn't aware of that. So now I want to share with them and say, you're going to be getting a title officer who's going to be calling you. And her name is Tracy, whoever it is. You're also going to be getting an Amatree email from me. And you're also going to get somebody that's going to be from our concierge service that's going to be helping to provide and getting utilities changed and numbers and our service providers and those type of people. So I'd like to let them know, because this one gal who's very private, I tell her, if anything changes, you call me immediately. And so she keeps calling me going, somebody called me about this. Somebody called me about that. Am I supposed to talk to them? So she was a little more paranoid. So I shared with her, these people are going to be coming and calling you, so that she felt comfortable that it wasn't just somebody out of the blue. So give the folder to your transaction coordinator, and they have to go put it into Broker Wolf and other different systems. I like to send the offer. This is really crucial, actually, because you need to send the offer, the pre-approval letter to the counters, everything to the lender, to the title company. And I want to provide my buyer's information to the escrow officer. And that'll be phone numbers, and that would be a seller too. So they don't call me like 3 weeks or a week before close and go, can I get the buyer's information, please? I just don't like that. I want them to have it all up front. Send buyer information to title officer. Next steps, buyer congratulations video. So I have a little video that says, hey guys, here's congratulations. And this is next step video. I kind of explained it up here, but they get what's going to be happening next in in the transaction. Send inspections to a list of buyers. So we basically send them the 2 or 3 of my preferred inspectors that I like, that I say, hey guys, if you have somebody you want to use, feel free, look in the phone book or internet, whatever you want to do, just, check it out. But if you want to utilize these people, here's a couple names and numbers that you're welcome to give them a call. So I give them those, and I let them know though too, because you need to let them know right here that, hey, I book all these inspections for you. So just heads up, you don't feel like you need to like book a time, because what I like to do, if it's like a house like in way away, 10-20 minutes away, I want to have the home inspection and the pest inspection done the same time. So I let them know and say, Tim, thanks so much. Just want to give you the next steps. So what's going to be happening here is that I'm going to send you this information about these service providers. And here's kind of a list also with the BIA, Buyer Inspection Advisory, that you can give them. And then I tell them, you don't have to have all these inspections because they cost a lot of money. I generally have a home inspection, which then that home inspection is going to direct us in what direction that we may want to go. If they say the roof looks great, we don't do anything. If they say the roof is sketchy, I get a roofer out there. So we kind of utilize them to kind of point the direction that we want. If there's anything else that you want to do, feel free. We can schedule those. I like to do them all in one day or maybe 1 or 2 days, and allow them to come in and oops, Christine's coming. Allow them to come in and so we don't disrupt the seller as much. Also, you need to ask them and say, hey, Tim, are you planning on coming to the inspections? I know you live in the Bay Area. Do you want to come? Is there a better time? Do you want an afternoon or do you want a morning? Because most of our home inspectors will do an afternoon or morning. And so Tim might say, yeah, I want to be there. Okay, great. You're in the Bay Area. How about the midday 12 o'clock? Will that work? Yes. Is there a particular day? Yeah, let's do them on Wednesday. So I tend to call and book them about a week out. Right now, the home inspector and pest inspectors are about a week out. I like to put them on the same day. So if I'm driving, 20-30 minutes, I don't have to go twice, and so be smart when you're doing those. When you go there and your first inspection, you can do your Avid. Sometimes I think I shared with you last week, guys, that I do my Avid sometimes when I'm walking through a home and I know that they really, really love it. I might be snapping some pictures. I might do my Avid, when we're doing the home inspection, but just get smart and do things right now that will be a little bit easier for you. If you need to get some timestamp pictures for the insurance company, do them when you're sitting there at the property as well. Then there's my Avid. Send sellers disclosures to buyer when you receive them. So this is important. So your TC, everybody is using a TC. I hope so. So your TC will put together all this disclosures. I would encourage you to kind of glance at them and read them before you send them. I sent some pretty heavy disclosures yesterday to a savvy buyer, but I should have read some things in there first, because he called me and goes, no, what in the world is this with the water seepage and all this kind of stuff? So it's always good to glance at them before you just blind them. Now, what I've been doing with some newer buyers is I've been taking the disclosures, put them in an email, and then going over them and describing each one of them as I'm scrolling through with my mouse. And then as sometimes I haven't, that's the first time I'm seeing them. So I'm actually reading them to them. And then I can like, okay, guys, there's a little bit of my concern. We're going to ask the seller to give us a little bit more clarification on what that means or what that is. You want to go through and you want to say in the very beginning too here of like what inspections that you need to order. So if they tell you a home pest, this is what we discussed this morning, we're going to circle them. And then when they're ordered, you can put a line through them. And so I would recommend that being at most of all your inspections. Generally, I'm not usually at a well inspection. I just tell the other agent, and you need to communicate to the other agent. Last thing you want to do is show up in Pollock Pines with your buyer, and we get there and the homeowner comes out just irate and super mad because he was not aware that we were showing up that day to do home inspections on a personal note and personal story. And come to find out it was my fault because we never mentioned to the other agent that we were coming that day. And so that was, we just blew it. So again, that doesn't make us look really good. And they ended up being fine, but just not a pleasant experience for my home inspector, waking people up at 8 o'clock in the morning. All right. Send sellers disclosures to buyer when received. And this is kind of important, guys. When you send them, make sure you get them back in a timely manner. You know, a lot of times that we're like all of a sudden at the end of escrow, the other agent's going, hey, you guys haven't sent back your buyer inspections. And they go, oops, that's just embarrassing. So have box checks where, hey, given, received, given back to the TC, just have something kind of going there so you can have that peace of mind that it's being done. Send all inspections to listing agent. So when you do, I'm a big fan of if I get a pest inspection and then I get a home inspection, and I know we still have for our request to repairs 6-7 more days left, I just send them. I send those inspections. You'll be, when you represent a seller, I have a seller we're closing hopefully today, and he's like very like every day calls me, do you have the report yet? Do you have the report yet? Did they give it to you yet? And so it's just, I just like to give it to them. So if you do give that, if you represent a seller and they give you that report, pass it over to them. They may not have their request to repair yet, but it's just nice to get those reports to the other side so they can kind of get a feel, give it to the seller. It's just a courtesy that they can see them in a quickly fashion. If there's an issue with the septic or issue with the well, at least they get to see it before we actually put something formally in writing. Your HOA is important. Most of your TCs will order your Lake Wildwood and Lake of the Pines HOA docs, but just if you have somebody new, sometimes title officers actually order some things there for you as well. Let's see. Again, if you guys want to, oops, I guess I can't do that. If you guys want to ask for a referral again, ask for a referral. If you feel that anybody, remember, I think I shared with this, guys, anybody ever says, Christine, you guys are so nice. This is so sweet. And you're at the buyer let's say you're at the buyer inspections. Thank you for meeting here. I just cannot believe how wonderful you are, Christine. Thank you very much. And what's Christine going to say? She's going to get a little blushy and get a little bit of like red face and go, that's so sweet. But what she's going to say now is Christine's going to say, that is so kind of you. I really appreciate that. I love providing this wonderful service. Is there any other buyer or any other of your friends at work or something that are also that you're sharing this experience with, that maybe they might have shared with you that they are looking to buy a house as well? So those are just canned responses that take the opportunity. Anytime somebody says, thank you, I love you, I love you, I love you, ask right there and then. That's the perfect time to cue in and just ask for that. All right, so ask for that referral. Then we're going to get into our request to repairs. Again, be careful of not just going to your, whoops, I think she's on the move. So Sarah, you are in your car now. So thank you. So go ahead and remember not just to put in your emails to your buyer and seller, here's our RRRR, here's the RR. And they're like, what's an R? So kind of share with them about its request of repair, or something of that nature. So just keep that in mind. Just, we're so quick to say, here, I'm sending you over the Avid. It's like, what's an Avid? So just, be polite to them and help them out a little bit on that. So you go through the request to repair, guys, there's a lot of talent and a lot of negotiation that goes through the request of the repair, and a lot of things that go down there that feel free. I know Sarah's calling me, asking me different questions. Feel free. I think Allie's asked me, Christine, you've come to me a couple of times. So feel free to always come and ask, and say, what would you do in this situation? Because there's there's a lot of crazy things that might be asked. I let my people way up front and say, we are looking for safety and health issues. So Sarah, when I noticed that there's no GFCIs, yes, that is a safety issue, but the house was built back in the 80s and they were not required at that time. These are things that the seller may bought the house that way, and they may be saying that's the way it was. That's the way it was built per code when it was built. I may not be interested in, they may not be interested in doing or fixing anything of that nature. So, but they're only about $20 a piece. You get a couple hours of an electrician can come out here and just bust it out for under a couple $100. So I'm already pre-directing them a little bit to understand that this isn't the end of the world, kind of situation. I was showing a house the other day and we found a Zensco panel box. And I said, hey, I just want you to know, see this Zensco box, to these little breakers. This is what basically is going to happen when you have one of these. And this is what your inspector is going to say, because it's just normalcy that they actually put that on there. And here's your pros and cons. So I'm just directing them as I'm showing the property, showing them the pros, cons, and letting them know that I'm Do not give me on Greenbrier Way on the Lake of the Pines when I got a request to repair for my cellar and they wanted us to paint the pink room blue because they had a boy and not a girl. Are you kidding me? It's like, seriously? So that agent just, I guess and she's all, I'm so sorry, I'm just putting what the buyer wants. It's like, what direction, where did you come and how did you train them that I'm not painting that? So very crazy stuff. So you'll see some weird things. So then all of a sudden you get through that situation, you get through, and again, we're not going through all the procedure, but it closes. So escrow closes. We're all so excited. And I would recommend, guys, as we get out of this COVID world, go to your signings, go to the signings. If the escrow company will allow you, sometimes right now the rules are a little bit kind of skewed of what they will allow you, or if they're only taking the client only. But if you can make it to the escrow signing, it's such a wonderful thing that you have. And I've had lenders actually go too. So if they have a lender question, they look this way. If they have a realtor question, they look over here. And it's just so nice. And then you bring your closing gift there as well. Give them a closing gift. And make sure if there's anything that reimbursement, you guys, this is totally up to you if you guys want to go down this road or not. But like, I just did carpet cleaning. I did a house cleaning for a house this week that I just pay. And then I just say, we'll get reimbursed at the close of escrow. But there are times when all of a sudden I went, oops, I missed that $100 reimbursement for something that you just missed. So these are really important. A lot of times on the bottom of my folders, we'll put on the notes down here and I'll put reimburse Eric for this, reimburse Eric for this. Because sometimes I've gotten up to $3,000. And so if the escrow doesn't close and then they decide to go buy in Tennessee, you're probably pretty much in trouble. So again, I'm not, maybe have a cap, maybe it's $20, maybe it's zero. So just play that by ear, but it's a little bit easier. Again, a lot of my sellers, I never meet them. They just call me up and say, hey, I found you and I need you to sell my mom's house. It's in Lake of the Pines. And I've never met them before. And so I just kind of help and guide through. I'll pay my well guy because he's very finicky and wants his money like today. And so I'll pay him. And the reason why I do that is because if I tell my well guy that all my servicers know they're going to get paid the same day, they will jump way harder and faster for me than if another agent gives them a call because they know they're going to get paid that day. So I do that and I just get reimbursed. Make sure if there's a referral fee. I do not like it, guys. Do you guys want to go live here with the buyer? Or are you guys okay with that? All right, let's just see who this is because I don't know who it is. So let's just see. This could be really bad. It could be a sales call. This is Eric. Can I help you?
Hey, Eric, good morning. Ron Class here.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, so I'm in Castro Valley, and I have to be in Carmel early this morning. Let me call Jill and see, the property manager,
sure.
See if she has a key and if she can meet you guys there at 11.
Okay.
Somehow get you the key.
That sounds great.
Right back.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, guys, I didn't recognize his wife's cell number. That was my other client. But I like sometimes we've done these live and it's a buyer, like a seller, and we actually get to do live training. Remember the one, you guys, where the lady was screaming and yelling? I don't know if Sarah, you guys weren't on that one. That was quite fun. All right. So, all right, lost train of thought, getting ready to close. All right, so reimbursement, referral fee. I do not like, guys, when I actually have a referral fee and we burn it up. Sorry, I think our fire department's here playing with our stuff. But I don't like it when all of a sudden you close escrow and then all of a sudden you realize that you get your check, you cash it in the bank, and the either Select or whoever, or I didn't put referral fee on here, and then you got to go write a $2,000 check and give it back to your transaction coordinator. It's not a fun thing to do. So so just be prepared and watch that if you got a referral fee. Getting ready to close presentation email. Okay, this actually should be kind of up here a little bit, but this is kind of getting ready for the close. But I would make sure that there's the concierge service is going to be helping this. My video actually talks about getting closer to transferring utilities. I do a little video. I'll actually give the phone number. So if I know I'm in the NID or if I'm in PCWA, wherever I'm at waste management, I'll give them the phone numbers of the people that they would need to call to be able to change over their utilities. I let them know though too that the buyer and seller, we need to agree upon what date as we get closer. So please do not. I think I shared with that home that the guy canceled his insurance, and we went through the whole entire weekend without his home being insured because his insurance company is a little elderly guy, and he just says, well, it says closing date on Friday, so I just told him to close it. I just told him to cancel it on Friday. So again, the first time in 26 years, it happened last year. I was very nervous for the weekend. So, you know, it was kind of cray cray. So please let them know, please do not cancel your homeowner's insurance until I tell you to cancel homeowner's insurance. So you give them that kind of understands what that is. I do give them, there's reviews. My links to my reviews are also in that one. Review estimated net sheet. So when I get it, you guys get estimated net sheet. Sarah, did your escrow officer give you that estimated net sheet? Okay, they did. Good. Sometimes you have to train them. So if you don't get it, you want, can I get that please? And sometimes you have to ask them for it. But when you get that, you're going to be able to see in there, you're going to be able to see, is there reimbursements? Did I get the seller credit? Because there was one that long time ago, Dawn did an escrow that they somehow missed $2,500. You know, we're 2 days before close of escrow. We're already 7 days late on an extension. We already had an extension. And we were like, we would have had to go back to underwriter because that $2,000 did not get in there in time. And so now they would have to redraw loan docs. The seller was threatening to cancel escrow. So it was like nuts, but I came in, saved the day. I'll show you and share you how I did that later. All right. So, but those are things that if we forget, you need to make sure. And sometimes I may, if Sarah and I are working together and I go, hey, Sarah, you know, here, my seller will give you the $2,000 credit. Sarah, did you send that to the lender? You know, I'll make sure Sarah sent it to the lender. So I'm trying to just either on both sides of the transaction, making sure we're not having any hiccups, because if you forget to send that to the lender or send that in, then it causes major problems at the very end. So I'm doing, so I review that and then I give that to the buyer. I said, the last thing you want, guys, is that, especially right now when they're just having mobile notaries go to their homes, I like them to see that they're paying me $50,000 commission before they show up. They go, how much am I paying you? So I like to like share and show guys, here was this, here's the credit. I'll go, hey, Christine, I reviewed the net sheet. I'm going to send it over to you. So I don't want you to be blinded by tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, because they will call you. You will get a lot of your buyers and sellers that will call you at the signing and go, now, please explain this. Please explain that. Now, what is this for? So again, I would take that net sheet, like the little elderly people that I had $700 worth of reimbursement on Torrey Pines. I went through the net sheet. I recorded my screen. I said, this is what this is for. The $600. This is for the $150 of cleaning. This is for the read the key. This is for the garbage disposal that we had done. So I kind of shared that with them. And even 2 days, 3 days after close of escrow, I had 3 phone calls going, what was that for? What was that for? And then the wife calls me going, can you please explain that? Why would we pay that extra $600 to you? So I tried. So those just, you just kind of share as much as you possibly can and explain. So they'll review that net sheet. And if they have questions on it, it happens today versus tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock when they're actually meeting the mobile notary. Just some pro tips that actually help through. And if you're not able to make it to it, or if your sellers are signing in the Bay Area or something of that nature. So I want to do a walkthrough. A couple of things I want to share with you on this is that I believe, and maybe possibly Allie's might have had this, but you guys, there's a lot of sellers in possession, sellers staying after close of escrow. I would never personally, except I did it myself twice, I would never let the tenant stay in the house or the disgusting owner. Now I did this twice myself on my own personal residence. Let me clarify that. But I would never, if I walked into a house and I went, wow, this is really disgusting, this is nasty, and I would allow my buyer who's buying the home to allow this seller to stay in occupancy after close of escrow when there's like 10 cars up on jacks out in the front yard and stuff. I'm not doing that, guys. I'm just not doing that at all. Unless I'm keeping, I've done it maybe once with a client. We had kept like a $10,000 withhold monies or something in escrow with that, literally had a bunch of cars. So I don't want to put them in that situation. But a lot of times, what's a VP? What's a VP? You may know, verification of property condition. So right before close of escrow, you actually meet your client. So Sarah and I are closing. Sarah, come on, let's go look at the house. But why am I going to go look at the house right before close of escrow when they're staying there for 30 days after close? So I'm going to go look at it right before close. I've done it. So the VP, generally I write on my VP, if it's a client staying longer, I would say VP done on this day, seller still in possession for 30 more days. An additional VP will be done on 9/31/2021. So that's an additional one, because your TCs are going to want this VP in their file to close out their file, but we want to have this other walkthrough. So I didn't even have a walkthrough with this other individual that we just closed in over here in Colfax, because in 3 weeks she's going to come up from the Bay Area and we're going to walk through. So keep that in mind. Actually, that's on my list. Can you put Benya, make sure we put it on our calendar. You don't want them to reach out and say, Eric, are we going to be meeting soon to get the keys to the house? Oh crap, that was closed 3 weeks ago. I completely forgot. So you want to make sure that you're on top of it. So I want to call this lady and say, guys, we're getting really close. I just want you to know that next week, because they haven't transferred utilities yet. So you're going to have to do this after close of escrow. So I'm just giving you some pro tips on how this is kind of working when you have this in possession after close. Yes, you will have a problem if all of a sudden you find it, they move out, then they left a bunch of stuff there, and you will have a little bit of an issue that you're gonna have to fight the other agent for removing personal items. Or we had a big dresser on $1 million home that got moved yesterday, and they did a buyer walkthrough right before close, which hope closes today, that there was some wood damage on the floor. And it was, I have the same thing with my little dog. They would knock over the water dish, and it kind of has a little ripple effect in the corner of this little room. And so, but we didn't disclose it, so it kind of had to add a little extra wrinkle of problems. But that's why we do buyer walkthrough. So I would always encourage that. You guys are going to find that you might do a buyer walkthrough through video, and you take the time. You go, I walk through, and I might put on the VP that buyer did buyer walkthrough with video on this date with listing agent or with selling agent. So I'll walk through, I'll show them the floors, I'll show them this. And so I want to, to really make sure that I'm not going, Eric, you missed something. Why didn't you show me this? So I'm taking an ample time and very clear with that and say, anything else you guys want to see? No, looks good to me. Okay, great. And then we move on. But I walk around, I look under, I look over, you're just everywhere you want to go there. All right. All right. Let's see. Ask, where did I at? All right. Next sheet, walk through closing photo. Here, guys, I like to do a little closing photo. I'm getting a little bit lazy on some of them. I like to do a closing photo, a little video, just them saying thank you. Just having something. I bring my little gift with them. If I'm going to give them a gift, they better give me some kind of at least a photo. I've created some signs. I think I shared with some of you on this. With the signs need to say your name on them. So I have 2 of them. I have just purchased with Eric Hatch. Just sold with Eric Hatch. So you want to put your name on there, because if they post that picture and it just says, sold, they have no idea that Allie or Sarah or Tim, that you just sold them that house. They have no idea. But if you put it on your sign and you're sitting there with the sign, and then, or they take it without you in the picture, then it actually has your name on it. So they can actually see. Just a pro tip. All right, move-in date. This is something, guys, that I would encourage if this works for you. I know that Old Town Pizza down in Auburn has white boxes just for your pizza information. And so these are actually the ones that I use, because you don't have logos all over them. But we do have some stickers that we use. If I have the right people, that if I have a family that's moving into town from the Bay Area, I don't usually do this with the pizza. But if it's somebody who's moving local to local, and they have a bunch of family and friends that are moving them in on a certain date, I'll say, who's moving you? Oh yeah, I've got all my buddies. They're all coming to move. I offer them and say, I want to bring you some pizzas on move day for lunch. They absolutely eat that up. They love it. I put a sticker on the front, on the top, and I put the sticker inside the box, because when they open the box up, it's usually open, and there's an additional sticker there with your name on there, compliments of, and there's a picture of me saying, here's your free pizzas. So it might cost you, $40 to invite them. But if you're going local to local and you get to show up with pizzas, and now you get to meet, I have 3 or 4 other transactions that I will have because of family members that I put them on my database. I am now friends with them on Facebook. We comment all the time about little things. They will sell their home when I'm, pretty confident with that, because I met them because I brought pizzas, and they were like, wow, this guy brought pizzas to, so again, it's some small, simple little thing that you can do, but it actually worked out really, really well. So let's see. And then what we do is then we want to send review email, send a VIP letter, This is all that where I put them on a Starbucks card. If they give me referrals, I had a lady that responded to an email yesterday from me that I sold their house maybe 3 years ago. She literally listed the 3 people. Eric, our circles are getting stronger. I sent you this person. You sold them a house. I sent you this person. You sold them a house. I sent you I sent you this person. Now you're selling a house. So it's like, they love you. So I'm actually increasing her, coffee, give her a caffeine level overdose here. I tend to sometimes send a thank you video to the other agent. This is a small community, you guys. So make sure and say, Allie, just want to say thank you so much. And I do a video and a personal. If you don't want to do video, send it in an email, send it in a text. I appreciate the smooth transaction, or just let them know that you appreciated them and look forward, especially if they bring you an offer on your home and your listing, and do it again. Post-closing video. So when they do get a video and you shoot a video or a photo, post it somewhere, put it on YouTube, put it in, recirculate that. Post results from your real estate, Real Satisfied. The reason why we get so many Real Satisfied guys on that is because Real Satisfied sends it 3 times. And I get less Yelp reviews because generally we only send it once, or they forget, or they do the Real Satisfied and then they go, oh, I already did it for Eric, so I don't need to do another one. So guys, I have emails that go back. If they give me a review, I go, thank you so much for the review on Real Satisfied, but I need reviews on these other 2. I'll send them 2 more links. I'm adding $5 to your Starbucks card. If they go to Yelp, I send them another review going, hey guys, I didn't get something on Zillow or Realtor.com or Google. Here's the other 2 links. I appreciate it. Give me another review. I'll give you another $5 in your Starbucks card. You're kind of buying your business here, but that's how you get these phone calls on a regular basis of people that said, I see that you're killing it up there. I see you online. I want you to come. I want to work with you, or I want you to sell my house. So keep building that. And that's taken me 26 years to do. So guys, don't get discouraged. If you have 1, you have 2, at least you have 1, and you just build from there. But you will have to go to Real Satisfied on to C21 online. You will have to approve your Real Satisfied ad or their review before it gets published. So you can actually click on there and you can actually link that directly into some of your Facebook posts. But you got to go find it. You got to go claim your Zillow. Sarah, you might be driving now, but were you able to find the one that you sold? Did you go claim that by any chance? But she may be driving, so we'll let her. She's headed off to her home tour. All right, so make sure you go claim that. If anybody doesn't remember what that is, you just got to go claim it on Zillow and then claim your sold or your listing to make sure that it shows up next to your stars that you actually closed so many houses in so many days. Change client's address in all systems. So this is a little pet peeve of mine too. If a year later you find out that you never changed their new address, because especially this is like if you have people moving local to local, you don't want all your literature be going to their old house. Needs to go to their new home. You change your client status in all systems of just sold, just listed, just put, changed those statuses. And we also do a just sold postcard. We need to add the postcard right here, Brooklyn. I don't see that. So that's important there too, because when you go into the CRM, now your CRM, remember we got it all divided. So now they were a pending sale. Now you put them in your VIP program, or you put them in a past sellers, whatever you want to call them. So when you go market that, they're actually in and they're going to get the right documentation of the right ad that you're sending out to them. Close the deal in Chime, and these are just sheets. I have a 2020 Google sales sheet. I want to have all my sales in one sheet so I can see them at the end of the year. I set BombBomb videos. I do a 30-day video at check-in. I do a 1 day. So guys, this is a pro tip. You just need to call them the day after it closes, and you need to say, hey, Christine, how was your first night in the home? And then you oh yeah, it was all good, or oh yeah, this other plug doesn't work, or this something, I've got a problem. Let me send my guy. We'll take care of it right away. Or let me call the other agent and ask, get that answer for you. So it's just like, wow. And I've gotten so many reviews. Same. He called me the next day. He called me in 7 days. That you just want to give this exceptional service, because that's what the remote control does. Is you don't want them to pick that up and find someone else down the road. You want you guys need to be that provider. And I love the concierge service, because I actually had my own book that we actually had with my provider services that I printed, that we actually would provide them, because they need to call you guys. They need to call you for the next 6 months. They're going to need a plumber. They're going to need a dentist. I had somebody that called me the other day on an eye doctor, and she's been, living in the house for probably 6 months. So you need to tell them to please call you for any vendors and anything that you want and to do. I don't think I have this in here, but I'm going to try it, which is going to be really trippy and kind of fun because I feel like when they're here and they're kind of like they don't know anybody, especially let's say in Wildwood or out the Sierra or Lake of the Pines, when there's smaller, kind of all the houses are a little bit closer. I'm thinking about bringing in a smoothie or a food truck and bringing them in and doing a big party for the neighborhood. So then come meet your neighbors. The Smiths just moved in, and how wonderful would that be? So I'll report back when I actually do one of how incredible that would be to get them to meet them at the same time you're meeting all these other neighbors that they say, wow, this guy just threw a food truck for my neighborhood block. I'm kind of thinking about selling. So I think it's a killer idea. So I'm going to try that and I'll let you guys know how that pans out. But I put them in a 1-year anniversary. I put them in a birthday. I do send them a little piece of paper asking for their favorite restaurant, asking for these favorite things around here. So they actually know that I know who they are because I just gave away a drawing and one of my customers actually won the drawing and I asked her what her favorite restaurant because I didn't know that yet. Now it's Sereno. So now I know if there's ever a time where I'm want to take them out to dinner or hang out with them, I'm going to Sereno's because that's their favorite restaurant. Put in calendar. Okay, this is all check in. All right, so that is good. How many more do we have here? Is that it? Okay, I think we're done, guys. I think is that it? All right, that's it. All right, so that is your buyer checklist. That took almost an hour to go through. So maybe we'll do seller later. Any questions on all this crazy stuff? Is it a good system? Is it a perfect system? No, but it's something, at least there's a system there in place. Because if you miss one of these, then it just isn't as smooth. So if you guys see something that you guys want to add or tweak, then feel free to add or tweak that. So any questions?
Mostly just
No
absorption.
All right, so
Go ahead,
Allie, go first.
Oh, I was just going to say, no questions. It was so much good information. I have to watch this video a couple times.
Yeah, please watch it. Sarah, you're up.
Basically the exact same thing. I'm so impressed and really, really, really grateful for all of this. It's super, super comprehensive. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I don't know. I haven't really taught this one. You guys are going to need to tell me what I should teach at Summit because I think they got me for 2 classes. So you tell me what that you guys feel like it. So I'll probably just ask you guys that offline or just text me and say what I should do because I've never taught this class before, but that took a good 45 minutes to really go through what you should do for your client to basically retain them as best you can for future business is what's important. So cool.
I think that would be a fantastic class for Summit.
Yeah. All right. I might do that one because we haven't done that one yet. All right. Perfect. And Christine, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Christine is oh, you unmuted. So what are you going to say, Christine? You take the floor.
You're so rotten to me. I just wanted to say thank you. It would be a great class. I will attend this class if you do it. I will, and I'll pretend like I'd never heard any of the information.
Well, that's good. It's actually really good to hear it over and over and over and over again because that's what we need. But thank you, Christine. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Thank you. If you need me for anything, just give me a call. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Have a fabulous weekend and go sell something. I've got an open house in Lake of the Pines. And so go find an open house that guys go sit at and grab some more buyers because they are out there. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank
Take care.
you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Eric.
Mm.